New founders often think that the first challenge is the idea, the website, the funding, or the launch. But the harder challenge is deciding what deserves attention before the business has proof. For Moshesh, Reid, starting learnanyjob.com while working full-time exposed the pressure behind early ownership, explaining the idea, chasing funding, entering accelerator programs, finding pilots and questioning how businesses recognize real human value. So this conversation looks at what new founders should think about before they confuse movement with progress. Listen to the end and you'll walk away knowing what to recognize when your attention is being pulled away from the real business, what to spot earlier when funding, validation, and preparation are replacing proof, and what changes in your decision making, especially how you focus on real world value before external approval. So welcome everybody. This is the Mentor Business Podcast, where we explore what entrepreneurs learn too late, taught early, so you can implement what actually works today and save years of your life by learning from the people off this podcast. More and more people need mentors, but they're not always available. So this podcast is for free to give back for the people that are just starting out, or maybe even have large businesses that just need that bit of guidance. So today we've got Mo on. Welcome to the show, Mo. How are you going?
Thank you. Yeah, I'm doing great. Good to be here. Thanks for the opportunity.
You're welcome. Very good. So tell us about where you're at right now on your entrepreneur journey then, Mo.
So yeah, I'm currently developing a website called learnanyjob.com. It's a website where businesses can offer work experience and informal learning opportunities. So, like job shadowing, workshops and taster sessions. And yeah, so I've been doing things outside of the website. At the moment, I'm trying to get funding to complete the website, get some marketing, get exposure. And at the moment, we're doing a lot of work outside of the website with my co-founders and partners. That's they mentor people, help them into work, help them to soft skills. And my focus is to try and get the website complete. I've been going to been on a lot of accelerator programs. I've been going to pitching events, and I've been going to exhibitions, sort of meeting with investors. And I've been trying to say to them, I'm trying to create value in the community. I'm trying to tackle the issue of work experience that affects not just school students, not just university graduates, affects people of all ages. So in particular, you have a lot of young people that are not in education, not in employment, they're not in training, and they've got nowhere to go to explore their career options. And they're all agreeing, saying what I'm trying to do is fantastic. It could create a lot of value for society, but unfortunately, they all want to see how much money I'm making, the traction, etc. Saying we need to create the value first. I need help to kind of pilot this idea, just a little bit of grant funding, some help with marketing. And it's just kind of like a catch-22 scenario that I've been in, really, which is...
So you've gone from like full-time employment,
Yeah.
right? I mean, this is real, right? Because how do you go out there and start a new business as a new business owner? You've got the idea, and when you're going out for this funding and you're getting kickbacks all the time, it's difficult for new businesses to start up, right?
It is really,
and unless it's like from like universities and things, and they do back you, but they do struggle as well. But so what are you finding on your startup journey then with the current situation?
Well, there's a lot of money being poured into the accelerator programs, being poured into the intermediaries that are trying to help people. And then you go through the entire program, you're hoping to get some funding at the end of it. And, you're hoping that you might get selected to pitch to investors. And nothing happens. You go through that whole journey of going through these accelerator programs, you get to the end of it, and you don't get selected. And a lot of the funding goes to the people in the middle, goes to the people.
Yeah, because there seems to be like, we see it all on LinkedIn, don't we? Where that there's this accelerator program, this support that's out there, this funding that's out there. But the reality is when it comes to it, by the time you actually get funding, if you do get funding, where does it leave you?
That's it, 100%. When it comes to the crunch, you're left with nothing at the end of it. You get a lot of support out there, but then you just don't get the money at the end of it. I think the UK is very risk averse in terms of giving money to to early founders. In the US, for example, they take a risk, they like your idea, and they'll give you money based on an idea. But in this country, they really want to see the traction, the money, they want to see the digits first, unfortunately. So I'm kind of pulling my hair out, pulling my teeth out at the moment,
Yeah,
saying
well, numbers are the language of business, aren't they? So,
exactly.
when you speak to these institutions or even
Mm,
investors, then
mm.
what sort of information are they asking for them to give you some sort of funding?
Trying to see, how many businesses have come through the website, and the amount of money that I'm turning over through the website. Then I explain to them that's the problem I've got. I need to get some funding to complete the website, make it secure, because you're dealing with a lot of sensitive data here, dealing with candidates, their information, their addresses, and also insensitive information from business owners. So it needs to be a very secure platform. I can't just ring it, because once that
Yeah.
security gets compromised, and that's it, so it's over. No one's going to want to use learningthejob.com once it gets hacked. So I'm trying to do things properly. I'm trying to form those partnerships, and I'll be doing a lot of stuff outside of the website. I'm trying to explain to them, I've got a partnership with a college at the moment. My co-founder has just won two very prestigious awards. He won the 40 under 40 UK award, for the best prominent entrepreneurs under the age of 40. Then he won the 40 under 40 global award last month. That's for his
Yeah,
work.
you think this is more like evidence to provide people that you know what you're doing, right? But
Exactly.
still, funding is a problem.
Yeah, exactly. So I've got these awards. You can see I've got some partnerships, but because I'm not showing I'm making the money through the website, I'm kind of just stuck in that situation. You know what I mean? So obviously, you allow me to come to this podcast is fantastic. It's allowed me to get the exposure and explain the problem that I'm facing. And this is,
Point just interviewing loads of really successful business owners
yeah,
because okay, you go and listen to the Hall Moses and the
yeah,
Stephen Bartletts of the world and stuff,
yeah,
and they've got people on their podcast.
mhm,
But this is the real life situation. Having all this information about like, oh, go and take cold showers and journal at 4 a.m. in the morning and stuff. Yeah, that's no good, mate, if you can't actually get the funding for your business and get the business off the ground.
yeah,
Yeah, we don't need to talk about more journaling and more cold showers
yeah,
from somebody who just arrived on a private jet from America.
yeah,
We want real conversations, real talk for real business owners. And look,
definitely.
TikTok, the last couple of days for me, we'll put a post up about what people really want when they're starting their business and what do they need to know. And the amount of comments that come back through were saying like, I just need help of getting off the ground.
Yeah,
And this is the thing that you're saying here.
definitely. It's frustrating. Getting lots of advice, get told where to go to do stuff. I think the government really need to not have so many intermediaries and middlemen. They're giving all this money and funding to the intermediaries, and they're making a fortune. I don't know what it is, £10,000 a day or whatever, giving advice. But the government need to, I don't know, try and get to the the root of the problem. Really, just get down to us early founders and give more money to us instead of giving lots of money to the intermediaries and the middlemen.
Well, let me tell you, Mo, as well. Like as the business starts to grow and scale, there's a lot of things that happen like this,
Yeah,
like apprentice schemes.
uh-huh.
The government want to be seen getting people into new jobs,
Yeah,
right?
hmm,
So, what do we do about that to get seen? Let's do an apprentice scheme where we reward businesses for taking it on. But
yeah,
what they don't show you about that is you get somebody come on, they're in a job. The person who's coming to see you has never actually employed apprentices before.
yeah, yeah,
They're there for a 9 to 5 job. So you're not actually speaking to a business owner that actually gets it.
yeah,
And then you get promised everything and it just falls on deaf ears. It's
yeah,
just gets lost into the emails. And it's
mhm,
like, did you ever do that apprentice scheme? I mean, I speak to business coaching clients. How did you get on with that scheme?
mhm,
Nothing come of it.
yeah,
So it's for a business owner, if you don't take ownership and follow through, you don't have a business. But for somebody, when a business owner's talking to somebody in a 9 to 5 job,
mhm,
they get paid regardless.
yeah.
Oh, I feel your pain here, Mel, because you're probably communicating with people that have either have 9 to 5 jobs and not actually owning businesses and don't understand the pain you're in.
That's true. That's a very good point. Actually, it's a very good point. Yeah, the thing is, the people that would use a website, like the candidates that are looking for experience, the business owners, they're all saying this is fantastic, this is brilliant. They want to get involved. But then when I speak to the people that deal with the admin that decide on who gets the money, it's like, oh, this is great. Show me how much money you're making.
There's an actual problem that's out there. So, starting a business for business owners, what did you have to think through before you could say this was a real business problem?
Well, basically, I had to go through my own life experience. Really, it's all about going through the problems that you face in your own life, and then realizing that so many other people are facing the problems that I am. And I thought I can either sit back and just keep accepting that it's normal to accept that people can't get experience. I can try and do something about it. Have the courage to go out there, not be afraid what people are going to say about me. Just be confident in the fact that this is a real life problem and people aren't trying to solve it, and just stick with it. Really, so I'm just trying to stick with what I believe is true. I'm sticking with.
What drives you, Mo? What drives you to keep on going? 'Cause it's not easy, and you're up against. I think
Not
this
easy,
is
no.
actually a podcast about resilience, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm just getting a lot of encouragement. People keep saying to me, "Please don't quit. This is a real problem. We need it solving. Thanks for trying to do something about it." And they're kind of inspiring me, really. And also constantly seeing on the news these young people that can't get into these NEETs. The fact that you're seeing billionaires saying that AI is going to take everybody's jobs, kind of mocking society, really, kind of mocking all of us.
Yeah.
Saying, you're not going to have a job soon. Everybody's going to be sort of, I don't know what we're going to be doing, but we're supposed to just sit back and accept the fact that these billionaires are going to keep getting richer and richer, and we're all supposed to be unemployed, not doing anything. So we need to fight back.
So
Again,
you saw the problem then,
yeah,
right? So
yeah,
you see a problem out in the world, and a
yeah.
lot of if you ever speak to quite a lot of people, I mean,
And
drop in the comments any people listening right now. What's your dream and what's your business? So a lot of people have a dream or have a business, but they never actually execute it.
no, no,
So
no.
from a practical
Mm,
perspective, then
mm.
steps to start your business for business owners. What was the first action that moved this from a thought into reality?
So yeah, just getting out into just meeting with people in the real world, meeting with business owners, and like so we've done a few we've trials with my co-founders. Got a few people doing work experience, and they're telling me how much they're getting out of it. They're saying, "I didn't realize the job was going to be like this." So just trialing your idea and getting feedback. And that's the first thing to do, just getting out in the real world, doing networking, getting to events. And don't just keep your idea to yourself, definitely. I think that's what a lot of people do. They think, someone's going to go out there and pinch what I'm doing. You try to patent your idea, try to protect your idea. I don't think that's the way forward. You need to get out into the real world. Just don't care what people think or say about you. Like, just test it, test your idea, see what people like. And once you start getting good feedback, just keep chipping away, really.
That's really critical, that is, because a lot of people do care
Yeah.
about,
Uh,
I'm not saying don't
mm,
care, but they care too much about what people will think of them.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, so I mean, because I'm trying to challenge the status quo. I'm trying to challenge something that is, just so normal to society. Going to a job interview, you submit your CV, get knocked back because you don't have the experience. People just think, oh, it's normal to accept that process. And because I'm going against the grain, I'm going against convention. Obviously, I've been hit with criticism. Not much, but I've not let it harm me back. Obviously, the biggest criticism is, what's in it for the business owners? What about how does it make money? I'm like, the most important thing is the value. I care about the community around me. I care about these young people that can't find employment, that don't get to try different career options. I care about all these selfish billionaires out there bragging about how AI is going to take about everybody's jobs. You just got to care about what you're doing, and don't forget about the criticism. Just keep going.
Yeah, yeah. And how do you deal with that then? I mean, when someone says something like, "Well, this isn't going to work,"
To be honest,
it's not. How do you? What goes through your mind?
the criticism, I use it as a way to improve the business. Just keep taking all criticism as a way to learn, see how you can maybe audio idea. I think all criticism, don't let them put you off doing what you're doing. Just see it as a way to go back, do more research, keep digging deeper into the problem, and use that criticism to keep growing. And that's what, in fact, it's what I've done. So I've looked at the history of the job interview, because people giving criticism and saying, "Oh, we need job interviews, we need CVs." I'm not trying to completely eradicate them. I'm saying it's actually not normal. If you look at human civilization, you look back at the history of the job interview, you're going to see it was only invented in 1921. The job interview was invented by Thomas Edison. So in terms of humans
That's
being
it.
on the spectrum of human civilization, it's a new
Yeah.
invention. That concept is new. To sit down in a room with someone and talk about how great you are without actually trying a job, or without the employer seeing what you're like in reality, that's never happened before. So at least before the job interview existed, people we just have a sign on a window of a factory or whatever. We got jobs. Come and try today. You just come and try. If you're no good, you're no good. But at least you got to try the job. You got to improve. You
Well,
got to
it's a big
think.
problem, but it's also very ambitious as well, Mo. So I share a lot of your journey with my journey with mentorbusiness.com, because for me, there was a lot of people calling themselves coaches and mentors on
Yeah,
LinkedIn. They just changed the tagline.
yeah,
And I'm like, well, the people haven't actually ever owned business. And it's not about owning business. Some of the mentors could be specialists like in marketing.
hmm,
They could be a top marketer for TikTok
yeah,
or something like that, or
yeah,
Instagram. And they would have like just sharing 1% of their ideas to somebody that they're mentoring would accelerate that business.
hmm,
So it makes a lot of sense. You know,
hmm,
what's the problem? There's too many people out there that are just saying, I want to be a coach because it feels nice and fluffy,
yeah, yeah.
that haven't actually done the stuff or been in that actual profession.
Yes.
So why not get these professions to come in? And what I decided the ambitious goal was, well, I'm going to create the Netflix of business mentoring.
Hmm.
So that's where mentorbusiness.com came on. Oh, mate, the amount of criticism that it hits, because you're in friction straight away with an industry
Yes.
which isn't massive. The couch industry isn't massive compared to a lot of other stuff. It's
Mhm.
actually in decline. So you've got a lot of people that want to protect that job, you know. And when we're going out there to coaches and mentors that have got experience and things,
Yeah.
we was putting posts up on LinkedIn especially, and the amount of kickback from it was incredible, because it was just like, well, who do you think you are? You know, that I don't need this because I'm, you know, big ego, big ego, big ego. And it kind of put me off then. I meant, oh, you know, maybe I should listen to these people, blah, blah, blah. And then I spoke to a big high level marketer. It was like, I won't mention the name, but very famous. And he said, Lewis, if you get friction, that's the direction you need to go in.
Yes.
Think about when Netflix actually started, the amount of friction they would have probably got that you don't see behind the scenes, like blockbusters, the
Yes.
amount of like, you know, lawyers that might have been on from different platforms trying to take them down.
Yeah.
That's part of the journey. So I relate with a lot of the stuff that you're saying, because
Mhm.
without pushing through as a new founder going and stepping into business, all this thing about like, what do people think of me? You know, am I going to really upset people in the industry? These people aren't buying because of this, this, and this. It's just interference that really testing you to see if you're ready.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. Right.
Well, that's my framing on it. I mean,
Yeah,
it sounds very
100%.
similar to what you were saying as well.
Yeah, so obviously what I'm doing, my fiction is going to come from the recruitment industry, from recruiters.
100%.
So I'm trying to
Yeah.
explain to them that this whole concept of recruitment, it's new in the spectrum of civilization. Before the Industrial Revolution, people didn't have factories to go into work. The whole concept of modern employment came from the Industrial Revolution. That's when we had a division of labour. And before the Industrial Revolution, rural communities. So these are the cottage industries, and that's when knowledge was passed down through families and shared within communities. You got to see the full process of you had the oversight of the full production process before we had factories, and
Well, this is it.
yeah,
Yeah. So
so,
it makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? And
yeah,
I think what you're saying here is it's not always the business idea, because it's a sound business idea,
yeah,
but this is a real test for new business
yeah,
founders.
yeah,
So I'm a big believer in the saying of
mm,
focus on improving yourself, not proving yourself for you know, to others.
mhm.
So when you focus on improving yourself and not proving yourself, for business owners, did you reach a point where you had to stop proving the idea to others and start improving the business itself?
So that's exactly where I'm at now, really. So I've been constantly going to the accelerator programs and constantly trying to prove um, the business idea. And I'm at the point now where I need to walk away from
Mm.
trying to prove the idea to people to get the funding, and just need to just try and get partnerships, just try and keep proving the idea. Just keep working on the idea, just try and work on the website myself, because I'm not going to get the funding, it seems at the moment, to complete the website and get the exposure. I just have to keep trying to. So it's got to be a long, rocky road, but yeah, just try and complete the website myself, just try and keep knocking on the doors of businesses. Just,
But you know what? That's the real life world, isn't it?
yeah, definitely.
You know, I always think back to the story of where I used to live in Australia, and it was my dream back in the day of being a big business coach. And over there, the business coaching world, I'm talking like 2014, 2012, maybe 2012. And I was in an area that I've never known in the world. I didn't really have any connections.
Yeah.
And you know what I did? I got in the car, went around industrial estates and knocked on every door. And the amount of times they says, "What do you want, mate? Fuck off, fuck off."
Yeah,
It was just doors getting slammed in my face.
yeah.
Now, when people see me today, they don't see that journey of entrepreneur. And that's just one example of a business. You know, I'm starting businesses daily with different co-founders, and they hit this big vision. And then it's like a bit of like the honeymoon period is now over.
Mhm.
Now it's time to get real.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, and that hard work has to kick in.
Mm.
Are you prepared to pick up the phone? Are you
Yeah.
prepared to go and knock on doors? And it seems like pretty old school, right?
No, yeah.
But let me tell you now, like all these Instagram and TikTok stuff and things you see on LinkedIn is lying to you.
It's
If you
definitely.
think you can grow a business just off social
Mm.
media and be very successful, like especially with a big vision like you got,
Yeah,
then it's not the real world. It's
no,
delusion.
yeah, definitely, 100%. Yeah. So that's the best advice I can. That's out there. Really. Just don't get finessed by what you see on social media and YouTube and stuff. Just stick with the real world. Just keep grinding, keep knocking on doors. Really. So
Yeah, but the high income skills, aren't they, that just get lost? What high income skills for business owners do you think are important in 2026?
um, I said we're in the age of artificial intelligence now. So what matters the most is human skills, basically. So empathy. So I believe it's a high.
So you're saying don't go all in with the AI,
Yeah.
go back to the
Yes.
human skill.
100%. We need to go back to what makes us human, not what makes us a machine. And what makes us human is is empathy. It's been able to understand how other people feel. And to develop that skill, you have to meet with people in the real world. You have to be able to read the environment. You have to have an embodied experience. Can't just develop empathy on an understanding of other people through YouTube and social media and LinkedIn and through coding. We just need to get back out into the real world. We all need to start socializing with each other and interconnecting with each other in reality. And that's what I'm trying to do with learningthejob.com. I'm trying to bring learning back into the real world, because um, over the last 2 decades, there's been a 900% increase in online learning. And obviously, that's not reflecting in the success of the economy. We've got access to information and knowledge, such of a button. Yet we've got so many people out of work. The economy's struggling. So what's missing has to be the fact that we're not exploring the real world. We're not exploring each other face to face. That's what's missing. We need to balance our direct experience of each other and of the real world, and balance that with technology. The world today, we've got an imbalance, I believe.
So high income skills for business owners that they need to
Empathy,
learn in 2026.
empathy,
Empathy, people,
yeah,
human.
it's human connection.
AI is obviously taking over, you know,
No,
work with it as well, but
it,
don't lose the previous stuff
no,
that worked in
Yeah.
human to human connection.
Yeah.
I'll tell you now, Mo,
Yeah.
some of the largest checks I've
Mhm.
ever been given have
Yeah.
come from somebody that's come off the back of a meeting with somebody.
Wow.
So relying on
Yeah.
AI
Yes.
to think that people can grow and scale businesses just through a few social media posts daily
Yeah.
or becoming a YouTube influencer.
Mhm.
Look, they get real. If you want to be an entrepreneur, you've got to do entrepreneur stuff.
Mhm.
And none of these entrepreneurs in their autobiographies are saying, yes, I just relied on AI to build a business. Look,
Yeah.
it's a dream. Can it happen? Maybe. Do you need to increase your ratio and your chances? You got to do the stuff that Mo's doing right now
Yeah.
out there networking, and it's a long grind, Mo,
It's
isn't
a
it?
long
I mean,
ride.
how do you feel when you've been in these meetings and it's just not turned out to anything?
Yeah. I just keep going because I know I'm going to get better. I'm going to get stronger.
Yeah,
I'm going to keep growing. I'm going to keep developing my human skills. I'm going to keep developing my emotional intelligence, my empathy, my understanding of others. I'm going to keep getting better. And I know that, give it another year, another 2 years, I'm going to have the skill that everybody else that's going to be in most demand. Everybody else is
yeah.
chasing AI and coding, everything that's artificial. I'm chasing reality. I'm trying to get people back into the real world. And it sounds old fashioned. It sounds like, oh,
Do
what
you
do you
know
mean?
what,
But
though, Mo?
it's old school
So
days. It's old fashioned.
different companies. I mean, I own 12 companies now, and across those businesses,
Mm,
the younger employees, very, very sharp people, are into university, got
mm,
degrees. And whenever they're invite them to come in the board meetings, we want to mentor them and have real, they're the future. Regardless, we're not going to stop time.
mhm,
So we need to be mentoring them.
mhm.
And the biggest area that I find that young entrepreneurs or young professionals and managers struggle with is they think too logical.
Yes.
And they're like, well, it's just black and white. This equals this. And I,
Mhm,
as a scientist, well, as a doctor, I think like that. But
mhm,
that's when my experience head kicks in
mhm,
and going, that's okay until the people show up.
mhm,
And that's where things like skills like emotional intelligence
mhm.
are really going to build leaders and business owners for the future. That's my opinion anyway. I mean,
So
what's
true.
what's
Yeah.
yours?
It's so true. And I want to, yeah, I want to talk about a bit of a neuroscience spin on that actually. So our brain has two hemispheres, as you know, with a right hemisphere and a left hemisphere. The right hemisphere understands the world through direct experience, through visual, through and emotional experiences of the world. And the right hemisphere is non-verbal; it can't speak. Whereas the left hemisphere understands the world indirectly, understands the world through words, numbers, and language. The left hemisphere allows us to speak. And the world today evaluates people on the left hemisphere, on their ability to speak on the words that they've got to say. So when someone comes into the interview room, if somebody speaks a lot, they've got the right words to say. If somebody is nervous, they're being a bit quiet, you kind of say, oh, he's no good. But the thing is, the right hemisphere um, is responsible for withdrawal emotions. It's easy the emotions that cause you to back away. So when you sense danger, um, become fearful, become nervous, that's because that's the right hemisphere. And so if somebody's being nervous and emotional, that means they're human. It means their right hemisphere is working. The right. So when I speak
Yeah,
to you, my words come out the left hemisphere, um, but the pitch, the tone, and the emotion comes from the right hemisphere. So if somebody's showing you emotion, someone's being a bit nervous. That means they're human. You got something to work with. When someone's coming in all guns blazing, or probably confident, or someone that's not, they've got a lot to say, but they've got no emotion, then that probably means they've got no empathy. They're lacking empathy. And with a
mm,
higher person that can do basically what AI is already doing. AI assembles words. AI is it's logical. It follows structures. It follows routines. But AI, it can't perceive the world that we can. Doesn't have an embodied experience of the world. It can't. Doesn't get fearful. Doesn't have empathy. Can't read, um, feel emotions like we do. So someone that's
yeah, yeah.
emotional, that's a good thing. You got something to work with. You can.
Absolutely, you need to be human. I'm not that familiar with the left and right hemisphere paradox
Mm,
stuff. I've heard of
yeah,
it said before.
mhm,
I always go to the journals and see what I can find. I mean, I get slammed if I don't reference anything
yeah,
as a doctor.
yeah,
Um, I think that the what you're giving there as the whole thing about the different stages of the brain and the neuroplasticity. Now that is scientific evidence. Neuroplasticity is a thing, and developing it and building those neurons and how they fire
uh,
is important.
Yeah.
And look, if we're in a world of where the future of our
Yes.
employees are relying on AI and logical thinking
Yeah.
and losing those emotional
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
neuron plasticity,
Uh,
then regardless of how interested we are in it, we're not the scientists. We could get a
uh,
neuroscientist on here and he could
uh,
absolutely smash this out the water.
uh,
But they would still agree. I mean, I have got neuroscientist friends, and they do agree that the brain is developable.
uh,
So we need to develop as entrepreneurs the
uh,
right thing
yes.
that allow us to be entrepreneurs, as
Yeah.
opposed to distractions that we see that we think
Uh,
should be useful for business owners, but are
definitely.
just not.
Definitely.
Yeah. So stand guard to your brain, right? Because every
Definitely.
little bit of information you take on is rewiring your brain.
That's true. Yeah. 100%. Yeah. It's always changing. So yeah, that's what we need to focus on. Not the logical side. We need to focus on the human side.
And that's what your business is,
That's definitely I'm trying to focus
moving
on the
forward,
human
trying to
side
change.
of the brain and developing that.
So what's the constraint then? What are you facing? Share with the audience. What is the constraint that you are facing in today's world?
It's my constraint is literally just the funding to get the website finished and get the exposure and money to advertise it, just to get it that momentum, get it off the ground. That's it really. And the irony is that we're in a world where the government do invest in billions of pounds into artificial intelligence, which requires human knowledge. AI manipulates human knowledge, and knowledge, it comes from human experience. So you experience the world, and that becomes words and numbers. If people can't gain experience of the world, if people can't get work experience, if employers aren't taking people on anymore, then you're going to have no more new knowledge created.
Do you know what I would do, Mo? As talking from experience as two
Yeah.
business friends talking right now. Why don't you just go and partner with a website company or an app builder and give them some shares in your company?
I mean, that would be good, to be honest. That'd be great. Yeah. I mean, if that's out there. Mm.
That's what I would do. I'd be contacting app companies and website, and
Uh,
there's that many that are looking for the next thing that they can incubate,
yeah.
and for them, what would cost, because you're not talking about a normal website here.
No,
You're talking
no,
like a website that like 20, 30K
that's
to
correct.
develop the ongoing stuff. I mean, I get it. It's the same as mentalbusiness.com. It's a monster of where it can go. You just have to start with what does ABC look like rather than going straight to Z. And looking back, what I would have done differently is partner with a developer.
Yeah.
Give them some shares because they aren't commercially minded. The stuff that you do here brings to the table a commercial and experience of the problem, the visionary side.
Hmm.
You need a technical person, and even when that website is built, it's going to cost you a fucking fortune.
Hmm.
So why not do something of equal value? And this is for any other people listening right now. If you're thinking about starting a business
Hmm.
in 2026, then I'd really recommend thinking about what are the key skills that are going to be required for the development and progression for this business to be successful. And how do you form a boardroom table, a consortium of the willing, the people that go, I'm ready to back that. And the beauty of it is there's that many web companies out there that can do what you're asking for, that a lot of them would be entrepreneurial as well, where you could say to them, look, I'm willing to give some shares away in this. All you got to do is build a company. And then for the future, it's an investment for them. But then they've got money forever, really, because they're going to get shares and
Yeah.
royalties from your company.
Exactly. I mean, that would be a great thing to happen, to be honest, because this is the catch. I haven't got the time to be fighting the website, building the website. I just want to be getting out there, getting people to sign up. I want to be out in the real world, getting businesses on there.
Right.
That's a catch that I'm in. I don't fight them with the website.
Yeah. Look,
So,
Mo, you're doing something that a lot of people won't want to do.
yeah.
For a web developer that wants to be really successful,
Yeah.
they do not want to be doing network meetings. They do not want to be going to
Yeah.
speak to banks. They do not want to be doing sales. They're scared. They're scared shitless of it.
Yeah.
But for the viewers, I mean, this is a good important lesson to them, isn't it? Is that it's not as easy as they think. You are evidence here that starting a business is not easy.
Hmm. Yeah. definitely.
So what would you do differently? How to start a successful business for business owners? That's the question, right? What advice, what should a founder think about early so they do not copy the wrong version of business success?
I would say so. I've got suckered into trying to get the investment and the grant money. I would do different. Just stick with the real world. That's all I can say, really. Just stick with the real world. Just keep trying to prove the idea in reality. Don't get too obsessed, too sucked into um, the accelerator programs, the pitching events, the grants, the business plans. So that's where I've been. Honestly, that's where I've been for the last year or so. I've been stuck in this world of going over business plans, going over the idea all the time. That's where I've got lost, really. So I just try and stay away from the
Yeah.
paperwork.
It's amazing advice because that's what you see a lot of,
Yeah,
promotion of
yeah,
these planning events.
yes,
And, even I do 90-day planning events
mm,
with, but I tend to do it like with the actual
mm,
businesses. But on a group scale, let's be fair, every business has got its own sort of own context. It needs niche building.
mm,
So when you go to a generic planning
mm,
event,
mhm,
what you end up with is a generic plan,
yes,
and you end up capturing ideas from around the room and go, "Oh, that's a good
yeah,
thing." Being around other business owners, sometimes it's not.
mhm,
You've got the fucking plan.
yes, yeah,
Execution is the problem.
definitely, definitely. Yeah, I agree. That's unfortunately what sucked up a lot of the time. So I'm in a full-time job. So in my spare time, I'm stuck cycling over his business
Mm,
plans and change the idea, going over the idea, going to programs that are trying to help people plan again. It's a constant cycle.
yeah,
That
yeah, and it can be a distraction.
it can be.
It can be a
When you
distraction.
draw the line, that's all I can
Yeah,
say.
I think you become like a networking junkie.
Yes, yeah, yeah. It's true. We come, yeah,
Like if you're getting business from networking, keep it up. It makes
yeah,
sense. Definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again.
yeah.
There is and expecting a different result.
Mm,
There needs to be a break in there.
but
And
don't.
again, this is two business owners talking together, right? Of what we think is wrong with the businesses starting up.
Mm,
They've got to do the right stuff, and sometimes the advice that's being given is not even from people who actually own businesses.
yeah, exactly.
And it makes me it pisses me off, to be honest, Mel.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why I always believe that mentors, people that are doing it, is the people to listen to. So, yeah, with your business, then where do you see it going in the next 2 years?
Next 2 years, yeah. I just want to see people getting value from it. I want to see these needs that don't know what they want to do. I want to see them
Mhm.
exploring their career options and then hearing back from them saying, I've decided to go to college. I found
Wow.
something that I want to enjoy. So this is the thing. People go to college before they can experience actual work that they're studying for. You can spend literally to the age of 21 going to uni or older studying for something that you've never actually tried. So I want to see people using learningjob.com.
Yeah.
I've not just got a job. I actually, no, I've found something that I want to study. I've gone to a college course. I've gone and done off the back of learningjob.com, decided to do an apprenticeship or a vocational training program. I want to get that feedback. That's where I want to see learningjob.com in the next year or two. I want to see it being start with it being at a local level, maybe in Birmingham and the West Midlands, and then see it go national throughout the United Kingdom. And people just
Well, it's .com, mate. So
come.
you're
Yeah, yeah.
international.
Eventually go
Is
global.
that why you chose .com? Yeah.
Yeah. I thought, no,
Yeah.
this could go global. But where I want to see it. I just want to see people using it, saying, I've discovered what I want to do. I've found my passion. Then employers saying, oh, I found someone that really gets on with our team. I looked at the CV. There's hardly nothing on there. The CV looks ridiculous, but you know what? I invited him in to come and do some job shadowing. I invited him in to a workshop. And actually, you know what? The guy that was nervous in the interview didn't have a lot to say. In reality, he's good with his hands. He can find new problems. He's got initiative.
Mm,
So people, see employers and business owners surprising themselves by
yeah.
what they can discover.
Well,
Just
do you know what, Mo, as well? As a business owner,
mm,
there's new rules, HR rules in the UK,
yeah,
and it's getting a lot
mm,
more difficult for business owners. And there's a lot of,
mm,
I'm in the entrepreneur and business owner world. If there was speaking to employees, it's hard for the employees as well. So it's like creating fairness for employees. I get it.
Uh,
But for a business owner, it's becoming more of a challenge for them.
yeah.
Because what happens if you get that wrong person
Mhm.
in the seat in your business,
Mhm.
you now have more difficulty of exiting that person.
Exactly.
Now, from a perspective of the government, they're ticking boxes because people are in jobs.
Mhm.
From a perspective of businesses being able to grow and scale, they are struggling.
Mhm.
Yeah. Businesses, it's up and down roller coaster. You see some successes, you see some, you don't see the dark sides as much. People need to talk about it more, hence this podcast. But they are, if they recruit the wrong person because that person wants a job, yeah, that person can leave and find another job whenever they want.
Exactly.
But for a business owner, they can't exit that person.
No.
So what happens here is it's not about the business owners, it's also about the employee. The business owner knows that this is not the right job for them.
Yes.
So it is our duty as well to make sure that that person is happy and
Yeah.
their wellness, they are human beings. So it doesn't make sense to have someone tied to a job just because of some HR rules that are now
So
even
true.
tighter. So if you was to have your platform, how much of a problem would that solve for business owners and the people, the employees that you might be going for this job thinking it's a dream job,
Mhm.
or it's just a job to tie you over right now because you needed to get an income. Well, actually, how about you used your platform to find out what that
There you go.
dream job would be and get into it? So it's a win-win for business owners, win-win for the employee, and it's a win for the government as well.
Yes, it is, yeah. It's providing transparency. That's what's missing in society: transparency and autonomy, which existed before the Industrial Revolution. Knowledge and being able to explore career options is all within the community. And since the
Yeah,
Industrial
I
Revolution,
get it, man.
we have recruitment agencies and intermediaries, and that's what's been lost is
But that
autonomy
makes sense. I mean,
and
what we've just
transparency.
spoke about makes sense,
Yeah.
right? So is it not a funding problem? Is it a marketing problem that you've got?
Yes, both really. I mean, if somehow get the marketing without having to get the funding, then that would help. 10,000 business owners decided to sign up to learningjob.com today, then I'll get that funding. I say,
Yeah.
look, I've got the traction now. So if I could get the marketing, then that would hopefully solve the funding problem. So, yeah, I can't understand why I'm
Well, we
having
get a
to.
lot of business owners listening to this podcast,
Mm,
Mo. So,
mm,
business owners, if you're listening right now,
mm,
drop in the comments on Spotify or
yeah,
YouTube. What would you suggest for Mo is some of the next steps? Look,
mm,
we've all got to be open to new ideas, right?
yeah,
Because looking at it from different perspectives. And I think this is another thing. I don't know if it's a West Midlands thing. I believe it's a UK thing as well. Is that business owners are closed off, and it's a lonely world
mhm,
having things like this, like a forum for to discuss this stuff and open. And I really appreciate Mal by coming on and being so open of the situation because if we don't have this
yeah,
documented, real people don't grow businesses. They'll never learn. And they go, well, why is my business not working when so and so's is so successful? It's bullshit. What you've just described today is real life experience.
yeah, definitely. I'm so glad that you invited me. That's my first podcast.
Now
And,
you're welcome. You're
it's-
very welcome indeed. I mean, this is exactly what we built the podcast for.
yeah, a lot of people wouldn't give me the chance. They'll say, "Oh, you're not popular yet. You haven't got 1,000, 100,000 million Instagram followers on your business, so we're not going to give you the chance." But you've given me that
Mm.
chance, and I'm able to keep growing and building
No,
confidence and get better at talking about the problems.
no, appreciate it, man. I think it's just real talk, and
Yeah,
as much as we get people coming on, like the previous podcast
yeah,
with Olu, who was talking about his 25 million business, and
mhm,
that was 15 years ago. He's going through exactly the same stuff that you're talking about now,
right,
but it's situational, isn't it? We need to catch them right at the moment where
mhm,
that problem exists.
yeah,
So, no, appreciate you coming on, Mo,
yeah,
and thanks for coming on, and let's all stay in touch.
yeah. Thanks so much, Lewis. Yeah, have a great day.
Right.